What's up, guys? Here we go. Betting Bananas another week. UFC 274 in the rearview mirror. We are going forward and ahead. UFC Vegas 54. Light heavyweights in the main and co-main event. Guys, I'm Dave Van Auken. To my left is the cornerman himself, the mighty Ryan Quinn. Ryan, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Ready to get my Betting Bananas picks in. I'll tell you that much.
There we go. And then underneath us is the one and only. She might be a tad hungry. She is fighting in 10, 11 days. The ruthless one, Elle Wagman. Elle, how are you?
What's up, guys? I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing good. I'm sending that ring light in the mail. I'm Amazon and priming a ring light to you. It's happening.
I have a ring light. It's just, I don't know if it sucks or if I set it up bad. I'm looking at it.
You're the star. We need to see you. You're the star. Man, so what it's on UFC Fight Pass FAC, right? 10 days?
Nine, I think.
Oh my goodness.
So just over a week. So let's go.
Awesome.
Very excited. Very excited. Well, hopefully it's a good 9 days. And I think we're going to do this next week, very early in the week to get it out of the week. And then hopefully we'll talk to you. Maybe we'll even I'll grab you on the show doing something else after your victory. We'll just do a little one-on-one, little 20-minute chat.
Yeah, Cornerman wants in on that too.
Oh, there. Hey, we're fighting over Elle Wagman. I love it. Here we go. All right, the Betting Bananas. All right, best bet, underdog play, and our 3-fight parlay. Hey, our underdogs didn't do great last, UFC 274. I still think Tony is not aware of his surroundings. And the Gaethje Charles Oliveira fight. Let me just hats off to both men. It's just one of those things when, we're not going to bring up the Rose Namajunas fight. That's for another time maybe. But to have the biggest fight of your life and for the biggest prize and have both men just absolutely go for it. Like just shackles off, chains off. Like you can see both men were like, hey, I'm throwing my A+ level out there. Just beautiful MMA to watch. Like just very, I don't want to say proud. I don't know, that might sound corny and it's from a dad. It was very honorable and very fun to watch. What a great main event that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man. You know what? Like, I know, and we were texting before, who do we still have going forward, whether it's Charles or Justin, and I stuck with Charles, but I got lucky. Let me tell you why I stuck with Charles, because I heard this quote a week before that ended up being relative to the situation Charles Oliveira was in. Last Sunday, I watched the 30 for 30 on Deion Sanders, Deion's double play, where he played for the Atlanta Falcons, and then he played for the Braves. Yes, it was the Braves. Yeah. And in Miami and Pittsburgh in the same day. And the coach of the Falcons that day, I forget his name. He said something. He goes, it was definitely a distraction. He goes, was Deion 100%? Not even close. Was he the best player on the field that day? You better believe it. And that's exactly what I felt was going to go on with Charles Oliveira. I'm like, he's still that good where he only needs to be 75, 80% to beat this guy. So that stuck with me. And lo and behold, Charles pulled it off.
Yeah. It's so funny. And to kind of wrap that up right there was so funny. I talked about it today was going into that fight, just the psyche, right? Like you got to think Gaethje fought for the title against Khabib Nurmagomedov, lost, got submitted early too, kind of just not easily, but just got submitted, right? So there's the blueprint. And if Justin Gaethje, if that happens again, like, dude, as much as we love Justin Gaethje, you love Justin Gaethje, the fans love Justin Gaethje, he might not ever fight for the championship ever again. It's hard to get back there. It's a hard road. We got studs like Grant Dawson on the way up. You know what I mean? There's absolutely studs in that division. And like Oliveira, he had nothing to win. Like he lost the title on the scale, and that's another story for another time. Like he just had that fight. He was going to be in a number one contendership. In a weird way, if he would have lost that fight, they could have really easily done the rematch for the title, like more play. Like Charles had nothing to lose, but for him to show up that way, like to me, Charles went to a totally another level in my eyes, in my books. In uber impressed, very, very impressed with Charles Oliveira. Just
absolutely, yeah. And you could tell that both men were hurt too. Like that was the most exciting. Like what was it? Like 3 minutes. Like one of the most exciting 3-minute fights I've ever seen. Like Gaethje had him hurt. He dropped him a couple times, and I think Charles had him hurt. Like he brought out old Gaethje. I think we got to see Gaethje fight a lot smarter in his last few, and that just he threw caution to the wind because I think he was in there they were both just surviving for a minute, and it was one hell of an exchange. After watching that, like I really truly believe Charles can beat Islam. I think that's absolutely the fight to make. But like Grant and I were talking about it earlier tonight, we can't see either of them losing. Like I can't imagine either of them losing a fight because they're both on such a high level now.
We'll wrap it up because we'll go to UFC Vegas 54. We can talk about this all night. We'll make this. We got to make this a 2-hour show. But real quick, and I know Grant and Tiago are becoming really close. Moises, I saw a really cool tweet, something about that Islam fought Moises as much as Charles Oliveira fought Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje. Like that's the same amount of time they fought, which is crazy to think. That's how good Oliveira is. So I'm leaning Oliveira to the man loses. That's just I'm on that. People pick against John Jones. Until I see John Jones lose in an octagon, I'm picking John Jones. So there we go. But let's go with it. Really cool, intriguing card, guys. From first to the 10th fight, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of youth on this card. We have an light heavyweight championship. We have a guy who beat Israel Adesanya on the card. There's not a lot of those standing alive. So it's a very cool, unique card. We always start to hear best bet on the board. Elle, ladies first, fighters first. You take it away. What's your best bet at UFC Vegas 54?
Yeah, we're talking about the youth on the card. I want to bring up one of the Contender Series guys. Jake Hadley is my best bet for this card. He's definitely a favorite, but I think he was at 220 favorite last time I checked, which isn't too crazy of a bet. And man, I really see that kid being the future of the flyweight division. I know he had some issues making weight on the Contender Series, but he subbed a really good guy in the second. That was a fantastic fight. He's super well-rounded, and I can't see him losing this fight.
I like it. Ryan, you're up. Best bet on the board, my man.
Elle, so I've been teetering one way or the other all night on which one of these two, and I think you just swayed it. I'm going with Jake Hadley as well. I don't know if he's a habitual weight misser, so I'm not gonna like put that in there. I'm throwing that part away, but I just looked at this guy's resume. Cage Warriors, Bellator, and who he's fought. He hasn't fought a guy with a losing record since like his third fight or something like that. And he's just fought winners, and I think he's coming in, he's going to do business. And then, Alan Nascimento, he's had like an up and down. And I don't think he can go up far enough against Jake Hadley right now.
Wow, I like that. Both of you. I don't think we've ever had, both on the best bet. I like that a lot. It's funny because all these lines are really close. The biggest line is Nick Maximum of minus 380. Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to make my picks on it. Andre at plus 290 is tasty. I don't know if that's an underdog you guys want to hear, but at plus 290, that is, I'm putting money. I put $10 on Chase Sherman. So at Andre at plus 290, I think I can throw $10 on it maybe. But here we go.
I saw it best 380, I think. Was it 290 on DraftKings?
Oh, it is. Maybe it went up. This morning. I took a picture of his screenshot, so maybe it got juiced up today. That's wild. But what's your best underdog play, Elle?
So I actually I'm gonna go with Jan Blachowicz in the main event. It's hard to bet against the former champ, especially when you see him come in as an underdog. And the dude's finishing power, his ability to grapple as well as strike well. I could see him giving Rakic some problems. And Rakic I think they've matched him up really, really well against other strikers, and he really hasn't met a super high level grappler yet. I could see Jan possibly getting him down as well. But since you brought up Andre Petroski, he was actually on my list too. I agree. I think with lines like that, I think that's a really winnable fight for him.
Yeah,
Maximov is good. I know he's undefeated, but Maximov, he's a slow roller. He's that slow squeeze and that grind. And man, Andre Petroski is explosive and athletic for 2 rounds. Only 2 rounds. He always dies in the third, but he very well could. He is very high level wrestling as well. He could absolutely meet Maximov for those first 2 rounds, win those 2, and then lose a third round. So that's a good underdog pick too, man.
Yeah, man, the Polish Powler as an underdog, like sometimes you just doesn't matter who he's fighting, main event, prelim, you see him at a plus money, you take it. So I agree with that pick. Ryan, who's your best underdog play?
I'm going Homer Call with Amanda Ribas winning over Katlyn Shukagan.
I like that.
I just first of all, like I just feel that like I know first of all, like Amanda's going back up to 125. I know the rule is a lot of people think, if they're going up, that I don't believe in that. In fact, I remember when Amanda was always cutting weight down to 115, she would lose her legs, like visibly lose her legs and lean out. I think she's going to have some extra juice going back up to 125. And her activity and her body language just stays with it and fights for against opponents like this. I just think that on the times where Katlin's going to try to like pace, similar to what I said about like Carla last week, that Amanda's going to press the activity and score. So I'm going with that for plus 155. Plus 155 with Amanda Ribas.
I like that play a lot. Yeah, that's one of my best underdog plays. Just even when I have a new thing now with us doing this so much is sometimes I like to, when I see a fight announcement, I try to guess the line before I see the natural line. And just to be honest, like Amanda has a good name. I think Amanda has a good following. I think the UFC's good, likes her, and juices are up sometimes. So I'm like, I really thought this was going to be like a minus 110 both. I thought it was going to be a very, very close 115 line, and maybe even Amanda become the favorite on fight night. And when I see her at plus 150, 155, I just think the value's there. I just think more than anything, I think it is going to be a really close fight. But at plus 150, you're getting 1.5 on the money. I think you go with it.
I love that. Yeah. And if you look at her resume too, man, Amanda Ribas has fought everybody at 115, and her only losses are to high-level grapplers: Verna Jandaroba, Mackenzie Dern, and Carla Esparza. And I could see her definitely giving Katlyn Chookagian some problems. I love that.
Yeah, and like Katlyn has a really good resume of her own, but like that's not, to me, she's not a high-level grappler in the 125 division. You know, like she's good, but not great. So, you know, that's a good one. That's a good one. Easily our favorite thing we love to do on the show, 3-fight parlay. 3 best bets. We put them together. We're going to get plus money, and we're just going to make the people money. So, Elle, what is your 3-fight parlay? UFC Vegas 54.
I just brought her up, but the first leg of my parlay is Verna by unanimous decision. I think she's going to put a hurting on Angela Hill. I don't see either of them finishing that fight. I definitely think she'll go and take the decision. I have Jake Hadley in my second leg. And then I have JAN BŁACHOWICZ winning the main event.
Wow, I like that. So you get an underdog in the 3-fight parlay. I will add that up. We'll make a little flyer for that. Just kind of putting the money up real quick. I think you're going to be in the plus 600 range, because when you get an underdog involved with a 3-fight parlay, that gets juicy quick. So I think it's around 550 to 600. I like it. Ryan, how about you, my man? 3-fight parlay.
Elle, our picks are ruthlessly identical for the most part tonight. I like being different, you know, give people stuff to be thinking about, but I think it's cut and dry, like you said, with Vivian. What was it? Vivian Arudo over Andrea Lee. Yes. I think the only reason why that fight is so close. I have Andrea Lee winning, actually. Sorry, but I think the only reason why that fight is so close is because they both fought Roxanne Modafferi.
Yep.
I like what I see with Andrea Lee lately. I really do. She's got tough losses. Plus, this is gonna be fight of the night, by the way. But she got tough losses. I have it written down. I didn't want to forget it. It looks like I don't have it. That's on my other sheet. Anyway, I have that one. I got Jake, Hadley, and then I have Amanda and Katlyn in the over.
Nice.
Ooh, in the over. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, it's funny you brought it up. Like it sounds like we're talking about the same fight, but that's the other.
Yeah, that's another Verna and Vina. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. When I thought I read the first name, like, no, that's not the one. I just kind of went with it. I took a shot.
A wonderful, a good bet too as well. I agree. I normally wouldn't bet on Andrea Lee, but she's been impressing me a lot lately. I mean, she put out Cynthia Calvillo. She's definitely stepped up her game.
And I have it on DraftKings. Andrea Lee as minus 120. That might be the best bet on the board, guys. You know, you guys not bad. Both of you guys had Jake Hadley. Sometimes I just want to see him in the UFC a little bit. You know, I know he looked good in the Contender and all, looked like Dana liked him a lot, and he missed the way they still gave him the contract. Sometimes the lights are brighter, the lights are different, and you just want to see him. Andrea Lee in the last 24 to 30 months she's a new fighter. She's just leveled up, and that's what happens when you get better, mature in her body, her age. I just think everything is on the right wavelength. I love Andrea Lee in this spot. Like her a lot, to be honest. Man, okay, so we never like Rakic got one play, and it was just like, hey, Polish powers, Jan's gonna knock him out. Anyone thinking Rakic? Anything else? Ryan, where are you at in the main event? Are you on Jan as well?
I have a hard time seeing Jan losing especially after the way he just lost to Glover.
Okay.
But that's a tough fight. I'm leaning on Jan, but I'm not going to be surprised if someone drops either way in that fight.
Ooh, okay. It's funny because I don't know why. I see this going 25 minutes. It's just one of those fights. I think Rakic will really respect Jan's power. I think you just have to fight. So I think it's going to be a very technical, I don't want to use the word boring. It's just going to be a very technical, rangy type of fight. And I think Jan will be able to get off a little bit, but it might be more of a grappling night for Jan instead of the power. So I see it going 25 minutes. It's funny. I see Jan as well. I think we kind of have a swept with a underdog in the main event. So that might be fun, but I think it's going 25 minutes if I got to predict in the main event.
I can see that as well. Like the way Rakic uses his range, I can see the first couple rounds, maybe Jan having some issues getting inside, but I think he'll wear on him. And Rakic just hasn't had the same resume of recently that you see when you look at Jan Blachowicz. Not only the people that Jan Blachowicz has fight, but the people he's finished. Rakic is going to these very close decisions with also good guys, but he had a super close fight with Thiago recently.
Anthony Smith.
Yeah, a very close fight with Anthony Smith, who's very good, but is a similar style to him and is also, getting older. He's getting up there in the years. And you've got Leon on the other hand, who's finishing Luke Rockhold, going to beating Jacare.
He beat Israel Adesanya. That's a good win. That's a resume win. That is a Hall of Fame resume win. He was the light heavyweight champion and defeated Israel Adesanya. If that doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame, I don't know what does. That's really cool. One thing, we're going to wrap up UFC Vegas 54. I'm very excited for the card. I got it all written down, permanent black marker. One thing I do, guys, I am so pumped with so many great events and fights coming up on UFC Fight Pass. I think we should do something special next week or the week after. Elle's fighting on UFC Fight Pass. Bo Nickel just got announced. He's going to be on Jorge Masvidal's Icon on UFC Fight Pass. I think we got to get a little UFC Fight Pass. Maybe put a couple different events and get a couple good bets for these people because there's some great content and those bets cash just as well as the UFC.
Absolutely.
I'm game. I love it. Let's do it.
On the spot. That's just what we do. We just create shows on the fly. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But Elle, couple more days, just no Taco Bell for the next 9 days. You'll be fine. That's it.
I'm on it.
Okay, you're on it. Ryan, the Mighty Quinn Man, what's your YouTube channel? Shout it out real quick.
Cornerman_MMA. Actually, we had a big week. We had John McCarthy and Dustin Poirier. You can see them now right on the YouTube channel.
Ooh, the Diamond. Talking to the Diamond, dude.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He shaved his head.
Oh, he was wearing a hat, so I didn't see. Ooh. Damn it, I told him I needed breaking nudes.
Man, oh my gosh. You guys are the best. Elle Wagman, Ryan Quinn. Let's cash these bets this week, and we'll talk to everyone soon. We'll talk to everyone next week.